bit that stood out so far is Alice's quote on being a hope punk, and the quote she just made to you actually as well, which I just thought was super cool, like that kind of language around hope punkness. Because you're right, and there was this conversation around the future feels really depressing and scary right now, and it's hard to think about it, but also there are ways of being optimistic, and Marcus's point around that hopefulness needs community, I think and positivity needs community. I think there's so much of what we do keeps coming back to that. Like every conversation I have about AI or something like that, it always comes back to community and collectiveness, and I think that's really come out so far already this morning.
I think what really stood out, lots of things of course, but what really stood out for me and I'm still carrying up to now is when Marcus said that culture is dirty. And that to me meant a lot because it means that we don't have to put things in boxes and places and things, and we can be messy sometimes, and it allows us to be in that space of not being uniform in order and all clean and all that, and it just allows us that space. I think it's important to recognize those spaces sometimes, the messiness and the things, and stay with that sometimes.
So far to me today, I think the collective idealism, which is really refreshing and like helpful to maintain energy, in the work that we're all trying to do to create a better future.
Atmosphere of positivity, which is very refreshing, especially in like this climate of doom scrolling where there's not a lot of positive events. But I think what always stands out to me in this is the idea of contamination, that we are so deeply entangled with each other and with animals and material world, technology, all of this, and that not only are we entangled, but we are responsible for each other. And as someone who's really big into like animal rights, I think it's a very much needed paradigm shift from the rugged individualist, Yeah.
This idea that there are these big things that we discuss, like learning, sharing knowledge, sharing techniques, sharing how we could do better in workshopping. Obviously that's relevant to Jai and I with our workshops, like what can we pick up from this that we can apply to our own practices. But I think importantly there's this shared feeling between us all, like this interconnectedness that sort of that is sort of what we're actually chasing. We're chasing this shared communal idea of that we can actually create impact, we can actually create change, and I think that's ultimately what we're trying to take away, so that we can actually apply those techniques effectively, rather than just saying, yep, we can do this. And the other thing that really stood out to me as well was something, and I feel like this has come up in the fact that there are so many people here from different disciplines, different backgrounds, people from the corporate world, the science world, the psychology world, and I think that's really interesting that there's a broad range of people here, is that futures in itself is not necessarily like a discipline, but more of an approach, and there are so many different contexts that you can apply it to, and I think that's I've just taken that away, and I think obviously I apply what I learn in my personal life and to the workshops that Jai and I run, but how can I apply this to my job role? I work in the corporate space, and how can I take this knowledge away and sort of impart it there? Because I think ultimately, speaking of what I was talking earlier about the futures pheromone, I'm trying to carry this feeling for other people as well and sort of spread it. But yeah, that's my big takeaway.